I'm Jim Olver, and I'm a faculty member in the Mason School of Business. I teach marketing.
Hey there, I'm Elizabeth Harbin in chemistry.
Hey guys, it's Professor Sinton.
I remember I was taking classes, but I did not really enjoy any of them. I was doing it because I had to, or because it was the thing to do, but not because I wanted to. My confidence and my esteem were at an all-time low, and my relationships were failing. My faith was nearly non-existent. I questioned my place in society, and I did not even consider how I could be of help to others.
Today I would like to share with you a story that happened when I was a freshman at the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil. During my first semester there, professors went on a strike that was supposed to last for months. I decided to go backpacking in Europe while professors were on strike. The irony though is that as soon as I got to Europe, the strike ended and classes were supposed to resume. I continued my trip, and once I got back home, I found out that I had failed all my courses but one. As you can imagine, I felt that was it, that I would never graduate, that I would be a failure.
When I was a freshman in college, I decided it would be a great idea to take 5 credits worth of linear algebra classes because I had really been enjoying math up to that point, so it seemed like the logical thing to do. But it turned out that linear algebra was different than anything I had ever encountered before, and I could not wrap my head around it to save my life. I had classmates who seemed like they were putting in fairly little effort and just got it and thought this was easy and great and fun, and no matter how hard I worked and how hard I tried and how much help I got, it just never made sense to me. So I struggled through as best I could, but it was pretty demoralizing at the time.
I had the previous fall turned down a perfectly good job in Jacksonville, Florida, and had started the PhD program at the University of Virginia, bringing my wife and 3 young children in tow, along with a lot of debt. In the spring, I was taking an econometrics course, and I thought I was doing very well. And at this point, I was about 29 years old, and I'd always done well in school, so I really wasn't very worried about anything. But for whatever that reason, that day I walked into the exam and had a complete and total mental meltdown. Complete brain freeze. I looked at the page, nothing made any sense to me, and I just sat there and stared at it. So I quickly wrote down a bunch of gibberish, maybe some of it made sense, and turned it in when they came to collect the papers and walked outside where my wife was waiting with the car to pick me up. And I told her, well, we're going to have to move because I just flunked out of the doctoral program. She just sort of burst out laughing at me. She said, well, you always say that. Well, for the record, I don't always say that. And for the record, it was, in fact, a disastrously bad exam. I did horrible on it.
I took physio psych, didn't get an A. Studied pretty hard, still didn't get an A. So it was one of the first times I worked pretty hard for something and didn't get an A. Didn't do well, I did not graduate with a 4.0.
Well, along came a person who changed everything. A professor and administrator. His name, Doc Warner, but most people called him Mark. His classes were about leadership, but his lessons were about life. He taught me about faith and happiness and joy. He found the gifts in others rather than poking away at weakness. It's in every one of us, he would say, to be wise, to listen, to serve others unselfishly, to love others unconditionally, and to laugh often. He reminded me and all of my classmates to create a great day, and his daily chalkboard talks started and ended with the simple phrase, "You make a difference."
I think it was important to realize that although it was a fail, it didn't define who I was, and it didn't mean that I wasn't a good student or a good person or that I wasn't trying hard. It had nothing to do with any of those things. It's okay that I didn't like linear algebra. It's okay that it didn't go well for me. I still found other things that I enjoyed, that I loved, and that I was good at, and life went on.
But for whatever reason, I didn't get kicked out. And I did complete the program, and about 3 years later, I took a job at the College of William & Mary.
Well, I continued trying, and eventually I graduated on time and became the first student of my cohort to write a history book.
The good stuff really is that I'm happy. I grew from those mistakes, figured some stuff out, and realized, not everyone really cares that much about what grade I got in physio psych.
And I'm wholly confident that you will make a difference in the lives of others in so many different and wonderful ways, now and into the future. As hard and daunting as that sounds, it's actually sort of easy. You can do it by listening to your friends, by showing respect to all, by showing up each and every day, especially in the days that are hard, by expressing kindness, especially when the world suggests that we be less than kind to one another.
But you'll get through this. You'll do fine. Try not to take it too seriously. Try not to get too uptight. Believe me, after a few years, epic fails are sometimes just funny stories. Good luck.
So, wishing you all the best for finals, and remember that one class or one grade does not define who you are as a person and doesn't say anything about your effort or your intelligence. It's just one class and one grade.
Be interesting and have fun, and everything's gonna be okay.
Sometimes bad things happen, but they are not as bad as they look like. So keep up, keep going, never give up.